A run walk on Saturday, March 3rd at the Micronesia Mall. Showtime is 5:30 a.m. with go time at 6. Register at Hornet Sports in Tamuning, all Paradise Fitness locations, or Ace Hardware in Anigua for $10 with $15 entry fee on race day. With t-shirts for the first 1,000 finishers and amazing grand prizes, including an overnight stay at the Pacific Islands Club with Gold Club card breakfast, lunch, and dinner. 300 Micronesia Mall gift certificates and round-trip tickets to London, Sydney, Australia, and Asia from Philippine Airlines. Join us at the 30th Annual Rainbows for All Children 3.5 Run Walk. Rainbows mend hearts, inspire minds. Brought to you by
KUAM News Headlines is presented by Calvo's Insurance, a legacy of trust, serving Micronesia since 1938. Matson Navigation, serving Guam and Micronesia for 20 years. All new 2018 Kona by Hyundai, available at Cars Plus. IP&E, fueling excellence. McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it, and King's Restaurant, located in Tamuning and Dededo. Always open, always local.
Ahead on Primetime, the governor making a rare appearance, telling senators to resign if they can't come to terms with his fiscal bailout plan. Plus, the district court chief judge calls for an investigation of the local U.S. Attorney's Office, details from what happened inside the federal courtroom. And local teachers trump the president's call for guns being carried in schools. Carmen Salahi has more from one school's active shooter exercise. Hafaday and good evening.
Senators have pushed back a decision on the governor's financial bailout bill until next week. Meanwhile, things got a little heated on Friday when the governor made a rare appearance during legislative session to lobby for his bill to raise the business privilege tax.
But as Nestor Lecanto reports, senators did not take kindly to Calvo's suggestion that they should step down if they aren't ready to join him in averting a looming financial crisis.
The tense moments came as the governor was winding down his plea for support of his proposal for a 50% increase in the BPT in the face of a $70 million revenue loss this fiscal year. Calvo warned of the dire impacts to GovGuam services and personnel if they don't offset the Trump tax reforms.
If you're going to allow me that responsibility for signing someone's layoff, I'm looking at every one of you straight in the eye and say resign. Because you did not work with this administration to keep this government stable and to keep this economy moving forward.
Senator Talina Nelson, though, pushing back at the governor's remarks.
We are working, and we are working very hard to find other solutions. But I ask that you come before this body without harassing us. It's unprofessional, and I have so much respect for you. But I don't appreciate you coming in here and harassing us, threatening us. If we don't vote your way, that you're going to call for our resignation.
If you believe it's harassment, then I will tell you this. I want you to be with me when I lay the people off. Because if you are not going to come with an answer to my proposal, and right now, if we go with Senator Regina Bisco-Lee's answer, there will be layoffs.
Senators, though, not ready to make a decision. As Senator Tom Atta says, the administration needs to provide much more information in order to convince them.
Because if they don't, inevitably, someone in here has information such as how much payables do you have outstanding, right? So we find out, oh, in addition to the whatever, $60 million shortfall, we still got another $40 million to dig ourselves out of. And so those are the sort of things that they've got to put on the table and take away whatever doubt we may have.
For Guam's News Network, I'm Nestor Lecanto.
Their mission is to reduce recidivism and enhance community safety. We're talking about the judiciary of Guam's probation office.
While lawmakers have been at odds for days now talking about how to make ends meet, this branch of government has been bracing for cuts since last year. Already they've implemented a few with other measures lined up for the chopping block.
Especially during these times, we need to focus our resources.
Lonnie Brennan was recently appointed to Chief Probation Officer. Already they've had to put the brakes on one program due to lack of funds.
The legislature did fund electronic monitoring. However, we didn't get our allotments on time, and we didn't get enough to actually institute a program.
The electronic monitoring program would have focused on pretrial detainees at the Department of Corrections. At $500,000 to start up electronic monitoring, the program would have quickly paid for itself. After all, it cost about $121 per day to house a detainee at DOC. It would have also brought some relief to the crowded Mangilaw compound and Hagåtña lockup. In the event there was room for extra spending,
we're ready to go. We have the SOPs. We've identified staff, and it's not new staff, it's existing staff within the pretrial section to actually implement the program.
Next on the division's chopping block, drug testing kits purchased with local funds.
I think there's a misconception about stopping the drug testing, because although it is a cost-saving measure, we are not stopping drug testing. We get federal funding in many, many different programs here, and so we believe that we can suspend the local funding of drug testing because we have enough test kits actually on inventory to last us throughout the year and even the first quarter of 2019.
Also a way to save their dollars, the probation office is considering reducing their intake hours.
So right now we open from 7:30 to 5. So anybody who is interested in reporting, if they're working, they have the convenience of coming in early at 7:30 or during their lunch hour. If we close early, if we close at 4, then we save an hour of prep time actually for the next day.
Closing an hour earlier for intake would reduce overtime and comp time. Also, their tracking of clients shows most report for probation early in the morning and just after lunch. Cost cutting won't compromise their mission thanks to risk assessments which help determine who needs their services most.
That's how we did things 10 years ago. We tended to overcondition everyone. Right now, pretrial reform is forcing us to focus and really focus on the presumption of innocence.
Investigate the local U.S. Attorney's Office. That's what District Court Chief Judge Frances Tadinko Gatewood is calling for after concerns with their diversion program.
She says it seems attorneys there just don't have a full grasp on how to handle it. This unfolding during a sentencing hearing for a trio accused in a counterfeit credit card ring. How does the prosecution at the U.S. Attorney's Office determine who gets a diversion agreement? That's a question Chief Judge Frances Tadinko Gatewood wants answered. She said in open court that she wants the U.S. Department of Justice to investigate the local U.S. Attorney's Office handling of the program. A diversion meaning defendants could possibly have their criminal record wiped clean at the end of their case. Her dismay happening during a scheduled sentencing on Friday for Dao Quinn Liu, Yun Kai Liu, and Ziwen Wang, who have since pleaded guilty to charges of unlawful possession of 15 or more counterfeit access devices. The three men were stopped at the airport last year and caught with more than 100 counterfeit credit cards after getting off a flight from Japan. Customs officers found 118 fake credit cards from foreign banks in their possession, credit cards apparently purchased from the dark web. The cards were found wrapped in foil inside a cigarette box and hidden inside shoes and clothing in their luggage. However, Gatewood questioned during sentencing why Liu and Wang's plea agreements did not include diversion. Gatewood arguing that in the case involving two high-ranking Guam National Guard members involved in collecting thousands of recruitment bonuses they were not supposed to get, were offered diversion agreements, crimes harsher than what at least two of the three men up for sentencing committed. She's never brought up such an issue in her 20-plus years as a judge. That's why she says it's with a heavy heart she's going to file a complaint with the Justice Department to look into the process to possibly find out if there are any violations of ethics, civil rights, or civil liabilities. In a response, Interim U.S. Attorney Sean Anderson states federal prosecutors nationwide have great latitude in charging and resolving criminal cases. We rely on guidance from the U.S. Attorney's Manual, including the Department's Principles of Federal Prosecution. Our office also has written guidelines for the diversion of criminal matters. Our diversion guidelines were drafted with input from the District Court and the U.S. Probation Office. Any decision on whether to offer a diversion for a criminal offense is within the sole discretion of the U.S. Attorney. Though no word on when she will file the complaint, sentencing for Wang and Liu were continued until Gatewood can get the issue looked at by the Justice Department. Meantime, the apparent organizer of the credit card ring, Dao Quinn Liu, was spared jail time. The prosecution recommended 4 months in jail with credit for time served. However, his attorney Howard Trapp argued his client has been very cooperative with investigators. He says the message that should come from this is that defendants benefit when they come clean and help prevent further criminal acts. Liu is sentenced to serve 1 year probation, as the judge agreed he did work extensively with investigators. Wang and Liu, meanwhile, are set to return to court for a status hearing in March.
In the middle of a heated national debate on gun control to deter school shootings, local teachers respond to the president's idea that teachers should conceal and carry a gun.
Yeah, their staunch response coming during an in-house active shooter drill Friday morning. Carmen Salahi reports from the Father Duenas campus.
Better safe than sorry. If an active shooter was on campus, Christina Mantanogna, senior literature teacher, explains what students, teachers, and staff would do at Father Duenas Memorial High School in Manila.
Just to not draw attention to the room, so it's supposed to be quiet, lights off, doors locked, and no doors are to be opened unless an administrator opens it from the outside. The doors do open outward, so at least a barricade gives the students time to protect themselves and the teachers to protect themselves in case someone should get in the room.
The school has been placed in lockdown.
The alarm was on full blast as we followed Principal Tony Thompson to inspect if protocol was followed. Doors locked and secured with chairs. Lights turned off. Hallways silent. Students hiding behind desks in classrooms. Colin Perez, teacher and security officer, says national tragedy was a wake-up call to have these drills more often.
We think it's imperative actually to have these drills, again, just so students are aware of our protocol and to ensure the safest environment possible.
President Donald Trump not a fan of more frequent drills on campus.
I think that's a very negative thing to be talking about, to be honest with you. I don't like it. I'd much rather have a hardened school. I don't like it.
His solution, train teachers to conceal and carry guns. Posting on his Twitter, quote, if a potential sicko shooter knows that a school has a large number of very weapons-talented teachers and others who will be instantly shooting, the sicko will never attack the school. Teachers at FD disagree.
I don't really see a place for guns in schools at all. So that's it.
I have to agree with that. I don't think that's a solution to the problems that we're faced with today.
But they do see a place for more drills and help for troubled students.
We also have to reach out to students or individuals with mental health issues. We can't prevent everything, but just to be as prepared as possible for whatever might come.
DOE will hold their own training with Guam Homeland Security next week. Reporting for Guam's News Network, I'm Carmen Vic. Better safe.
Nearly a dozen guns, glass pipes, and marijuana. GPD investigators finding those items during a raid in Manila on Thursday. 65-year-old Jesus San Agustin and 27-year-old Desiree Dolores Meno are charged with theft by receiving stolen property. San Agustin is also charged with illegal possession of drugs and firearms. Police say the search warrant was executed as authorities were looking into a burglary investigation. That's when they made the find, confiscating a 12-gauge shotgun, 2 .30 caliber rifles, 7 .22 caliber rifles, drug paraphernalia, glass pipes with drug residue, and 5 marijuana plants.
The 17-year-old charged in robbery at the Kmart parking lot is being tried as an adult. John Wine Lodge and Wasteless Albert are charged with theft, conspiracy to commit robbery, along with special allegation of a vulnerable victim. As we reported, police responded to the incident at the Kmart parking lot on Wednesday night. A witness helped authorities to track him down. The duo hiding at an auto shop in the Harmon Industrial Park. Police say the victim's purse was also found by the Jungle Line near Kmart.
Well, stick around for more news here on Primetime.
You're watching KUAM.
There are more ways to experience KUAM news than any other source on Guam. Download the KUAM
the trucks. And during Ram Truck Month, save up to $97.50 on new Ram trucks. Cars Plus has a great selection of 2018 Ram trucks. Plus, shop our remaining 2017 Ram 1500s. Voted Guam's best truck 2 years in a row. The Ram truck comes with a 5-year, 60,000-mile powertrain warranty. And with 1.99 APR financing for qualified buyers, there's no better time to buy than now. It's Ram Truck Month, and only Cars Plus and Mighty has the trucks. Cars Plus, driven by you.
Now you can choose your favorite Nissan rides and 30 flyaways on Philippine Airlines when you play Micronesia Mall's Your Best Choice giveaway. To play, present mall receipts to win a new Versa Note SR, the Crossover Rogue Sport SV, the Heritage Edition 370Z, or you can choose a tough Nissan truck. Plus, there are great instant prizes from Burger King and Foot Locker. Win more cars, trips, and prizes when you play Micronesia Mall's Your Best Choice giveaway.
Connect with KUAM News. Find us on your favorite social media platform. Follow us and stay in the know with Guam's news leader.
Welcome back.
With regional headlines, here's KSPN 2 News.
Half a day Guam, here's what's making headlines in the CNMI.
As far as corruption is concerned, that boy, whoever wrote that article, should get his head out of his and prove your allegation.
One of 5 casino commissioners, Joe Rages, says the Bloomberg article is a lie, and the allegations that the CCC is unfit to regulate the casino is wrong, and he takes it personally.
I personally get offended on that, okay, because I'm not corrupt, and none of us are corrupt, and to me, prove it. I think, I challenge him to prove it.
The chair of the Casino Commission nearly broke into tears thinking about the allegations inside the article.
Should you hurt that city? It's got to be similar. You're doing a good job. We're not corrupted.
Juan Sablan says the commission does everything they can to keep IPI compliant.
So every meeting that we attend, we question IPI every detail.
He goes on to say that any corrupt allegations hurts him.
Just broke my heart.
Some on the commission chalk the article up to politics on a national level.
But most people who understand the national scene would know that Bloomberg is a far left organization. If you're in the media, you know it is. So is the NBC. They're all affiliates of this. If you're a Republican, you're not a friend of Bloomberg.
Executive Director of the Casino Commission, Edward De Leon Guerrero, says the only reason Bloomberg covered this story is because it's an easy target on their political agenda.
If you're Trump, you're not a friend of Bloomberg. And if you support Trump, which this governor is a strong supporter of President Trump, you obviously will not be a friend of Bloomberg. And I believe that IPI, since they opened, they were here criticizing. It appears like IPI seems to be the low-lying fruit. Easy to pick, easy to criticize.
With that being said, the Commonwealth Casino Commission is considering their options when it comes to lawsuits against Bloomberg.
Our issues is looking at the entire article, if there's anything there illegal, and we're also looking at not only the Bloomberg article, but also other comments made by other people locally, whether those statements constitute defamation.
De Leon Guerrero says even with free speech, no one can get away with speaking lies, which he believes the Bloomberg article is.
But I can assure you that there are limits and there are accountability on what you say and what you print. And if you're printing false lies, incorrect statements, whoever the writer is or whoever the person speaking it must be held accountable.
That's your KSPN 2 News Roundup. For more, go to saipantv.com. I'm Sherry Riggs reporting.
All week long, it's Guam Invasive Species Awareness Week. Events will inform the public on how to protect Guam against invasive species like the brown tree snakes and rhino beetles. Topics include what's killing my plants, a USDA plant inspection facility tour, screening of the documentary, an acquired taste about hunting at the Guam Museum, and the brown tree snake control workshop. For the full list of events, log on to KUAM.com.
Oh, Biba Mes Chamorro. This afternoon, Lieutenant Governor Ray Tenorio signed a proclamation marking March as Mes Chamorro. The theme, our language and culture, believe, practice, and praise the teachings of our ancestors. Several groups showcase their dance skills, and events are planned for the entire month. Stay tuned to the stations of KUAM as we bring you more for Message Tomorrow. Well, sports is coming in next, but first, your island weather.
We know how life can be when you're young, wild and free. That's why GTA hooks it up with the best phones at the best prices to keep you living life to the fullest. Get the Motorola Moto G4 for free and Alcatel A3 XL for only $49. Or the Samsung Galaxy A8 for only $99 with a $50 per month unlimited talk and text plan, including 5 gigs of high-speed data. Visit gta.net or a store for details.
For 20 years, Matson has been an important part of our everyday lives. Bringing in the cars we drive, the food we eat, and the materials that helped build our homes. From caring for our land through the Adaki Itanu program to generously supporting our local charities, Matson has contributed to the preservation and growth of our island. On behalf of those you've served throughout your 20 years on Guam, Tida Smaasi Matson.
I solemnly swear
to love you,
hold you,
and keep you as my little secret.
And hold you.
I think about you all the time.
Hold you.
Because you have that special something.
Rediscover your love for the Big Mac and its special sauce. And for a limited time, try the Mac Jr. and Grand Big Mac.
KUAM Sports is presented by Triple J.
What's up, Guam? Dave Delgado here for KUAM Sports. Thanks for watching. I have some volleyball news on how you can help 3 middle schoolers get to New York and Washington, D.C. I'll get to that in just a bit. But first off, your Darrento-owned Athlete of the Week. Check it out. We're here at Darrento Dedido for our Athlete of the Week. Today we have powerlifter Kevin Demaala.
Congratulations on being Dallas Athlete of the Week. Who would you like to present the check to?
I'd like to present to Guam Cancer Care.
All right, Kevin, let's talk about the sport of powerlifting in general. Tell us about the lifts and how the event is scored.
All right, so powerlifting consists of 3 lifts, the squat, bench, and deadlift. You're allowed 3 attempts at each lift, and at the end we take the heaviest weight out of all 3 lifts, add the total up, and yeah, so that you get your total and you get your body weight, and you get what's called a Wilks score, and that determines where you place.
Last year competing in the Hawaii Fit Expo, taking 3rd place for your weight class, 148 pounds. Let's talk about some of your totals for those specific weight lifts.
All right, so for my top set on squat, I hit 365, bench I hit 225, and my deadlift I hit 480. It was enough to get me to qualify for nationals, but I didn't get to go just because of life. So this year we're hoping to improve.
Yeah, you're going back to Hawaii to compete again in April. This time around, let's talk about the numbers that you're looking to hopefully hit.
Hopefully we're hitting 450 on the squat, 250 on the bench, and 520 on the deadlift, hopefully.
And the sport of powerlifting itself, what are some of the key components to the lifters having to focus on making sure they stick that lift, and what are the judges looking for in order for that to be a successful lift?
Lift-wise, there's certain depths you have to hit when it comes to squat. There's commands you got to listen out for, so you can't just hit tap and go for bench. You got to bring the bar down, wait for the judge to say up, and then rack. So it's you got to focus on the lift, focus on the judge, and just be in control of the weight at all times.
And who are some of the other countries or some of the competitors that you're looking forward to competing against out there in Hawaii?
Definitely I'm looking forward to competing with some of my teammates from Guam. 671 barbell, we're growing. We're going to fly out. Some of the guys out there, there's Dan and Kimo. So those guys really humbled me. They took 1st and 2nd in my weight class. So those are the guys I look up to.
Anybody that wants to get involved with the sport of powerlifting, how can they reach out to you guys as an organization?
I'd say your best bet is to follow us on Instagram under 671 Barbell, and feel free to message us. Yeah, we lift weights, but we're not like scary or anything. We're friendly people. Yeah.
All right, congratulations. Stay tuned to our next Dial Rentone Athlete of the Week.
KUAM Sports Athlete of the Week is brought to you by...
Turning over to some volleyball news, a fundraising tournament for the Augusta Johnston Middle School Close-Up Club will be taking place on Saturday and Sunday at the GW Gym. 10 teams will be participating in the For Fun tourney. Admission is $2 per person. Children under 8 are free. The Close-Up Club is a leadership club that promotes leadership in government. The club leaves Island on April 12th to Washington, D.C. and New York. Big shout out to Ambrose and Bank of Guam for helping with the tournament. There are no grants at the middle school level, so everything is funded on their own at a cost of $5,000 per child, so only 3 kids will be heading out this year. Check out closeup.org for more information. Well, that's going to do it for sports. We're back right after this.
We have those moments in our lives that happen unpredictably. The unexpected instances that we did not really need. Now you can count on us to stay well, Papa to live well, Papa to stay well, making sure you stay well. Oh, I'll lift you up when times are low. I'll see how far we'll go, and stay well.
With every era comes 2 things. Change. And a Honda Accord that defines a generation. Introducing the all-new Accord. The most impressive Honda ever.
And before we close out the news tonight, our latest round of birthday shoutouts from the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club. Happy birthday to our awesome Miss Papa, Peter Mendiola. Plenty love and hugs from your grandbabies, Zaya J, Zeta, and Oliver. Caleb C. Borja, happy 9th birthday from your family and friends. We love you. Colin Jake Duenas, happy 10th birthday. We love you from the family. Also, happy birthday, Frank. Love the family. Happy birthday, Joey Calvo. Love the family. Kaylee Ann Elizabeth Tahaji. Happy birthday from Mommy, Sissy, and your family. Also, happy birthday going out to Stephen Blake.
Remember, you can be part of the Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club by registering online on KUAM.com. Please make sure to include with your photo your name and birth date so we can celebrate you.
Whoop, whoop.
It's the time of the week for my epic drum roll skills.
Yeah,
and also
to announce the winner of this week's Yummy Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Cake. And this week's winner, Chris?
Caleb Johnson Blonde. Happy belated birthday. A rep from Cold Stone will contact you on how to redeem your yummy, your delicious, your amazing I Love Cold Stone Creamery ice cream cake. Please share with me.
Who doesn't? All right, that's going to do it for us here in the news desk. Have a safe and great weekend, everyone.
It's brought to you by IT&E.
Have a day, everybody. Thanks so much for watching. It is my duty, honor, and privilege to bring back an alumni of our very hallowed halls here at KUAM, the very lovely Cindy Hansen, someone that taught me about a thing or two about quality broadcasting. Cindy, half a day. How are you?
I am great. Thank you so much for having me,
Jason. It is fantastic to see you here, and you are doing wonderful things now in the community. You've always been someone who's been active, trying to get people to get motivated about certain projects. And
I try.
Well, you're here right now talking about this women's conference that's coming up and everything like that, which is fantastic.
Thank you so much. Yeah. Well, that's one of the new things that I have become a part of as of last year. I'm a member of the American Association of University Women, the Guam branch. Thank you. And yes, we have a women's conference coming up on March 3rd. It's something that the AAUW does every year in honor of National Women's History Month. And this year, on March 3rd, we will be at the Hilton Resort and Spa. And the conference starts at 9:30 until 3:30, and we have some really amazing keynote speakers coming in. We have Dr. Betty Thompson from the Fred Hutch Cancer Research Center. She's coming in, and she's going to give a wonderful talk about breast and colon cancer and the health disparities that affect women. We have Special Agent Caroline Scales from the FBI, who's going to give a talk about human trafficking and ways women can protect themselves and be safe. One of the highlights of the conference is a special gubernatorial panel. We've been able to secure the majority of the candidates running who are going to come in and present their proposed administration's platforms on what they will do for women, and we will open the floor to some questions from the audience, yes, and they will tell us, what their administration will do for women should they be fortunate enough to seek the office or win the office. And then we have some great breakout speakers. As you know, I'm with the Guam Regional Medical City Hospital, and we're fortunate enough to have some of our doctors coming in.
And I found out about about you through LinkedIn and everything. I was pleased as punch to see you doing wonderful things over there.
Cool. Well, that's part of my job, is I'm the social media specialist at the hospital.
And they picked the right person for the job.
Thank you. Thank you very much. So we have Dr. Edna Acuna is going to be one of our breakout speakers in the morning. She'll come in and talk about the wonderful work she's doing with diabetes wound care using our hyperbaric chambers. And in the afternoon, our Dr. Hank Hill will come and talk again about cancer and some of the cancers that affect women most here in Guam. We also have Dr. Mary Fergiger from the Guam Behavioral Health and Wellness Center. She's going to come in and talk about sexual harassment and how to identify perpetrators. And then we have Sean Murphy from the Society of Human Resource Managers, who's going to come in and talk about how to know your worth and use that to negotiate for better salaries. So,
all right. Well, obviously, the scope of these talks is very, very broad. It's incredible topics and everything. Thematically, are you lumping these all under like a single umbrella? Because, everybody kind of like